Having a complete and total understanding of everything relating to your truck's tires performance when hauling heavy loads is crucial to arriving at your destination safely. So with that said, how do we know what load rating is best for our own particular application? Well guys, let's find out. Basically, a tire's load rating directly impacts a vehicle's carrying capacity. Passenger tires and light truck tires have different load ratings based on a combination of factors like size, construction, application, and inflation pressure. In the United States, the Tire and Rim Association, or TRA, is the standardization organization for tires and publishes an annual yearbook with load and inflation tables for each tire size and load rating, plus the maximum tire's air pressure, which is listed on the sidewall of the tire as well. Load and inflation standards have been developed over the years, taking into consideration the size of the tire's air containment chamber, inflation pressure, and tire usage. Additionally, load provisions are specified for tires designed with reinforced constructions, typically described as XL or extra load tires for passenger or higher load range symbols for light truck designated tires, and it's always best to refer to the tire sidewall markings for the size, maximum load rating, and air pressure information. Tire size is another major factor in determining the load carrying capacity. So when you're searching for different tire sizes on our website at Trobuilt Off-Road, you'll notice that there are 3 different tire size designations. Tire sizes typically used on OE or original equipment tires for light-duty trucks are P-metric, LT-metric, and Eurometric. Many quarter and half-ton trucks will use the P-metric and Eurometric standards, whereas 3/4 ton and 1-ton trucks will use the LT-metric sizes. In addition to being used on light-duty trucks, P-metric is a global term and is used around the world. The P stands for passenger and is found on sedans, coupes, minivans, small SUVs, CUVs, and some lighter-duty trucks. P-metric tires are often broken down into additional categories: standard load, or SL, extra load, XL. Standard load tires are intended for normal everyday use and will either be marked with SL after the tire size or not marked at all. Extra load, or XL, tires are designed to be able to carry a higher load than standard load tires. LT metric is also pretty common and will have the letters LT in front of the tire size molded on the sidewall and are found on pickup trucks. Light truck tires can carry heavier loads due to a higher maximum inflation pressure, which varies depending on the load range and will also have a different construction than P-metric tires, including a deeper tread depth. Trucks, or overlanding type vehicles that will be carrying a bunch of extra weight, are going to require tires with a higher load range in order to handle all that extra weight. The load range is an indicator of a tire's strength and defines the tire's load carrying capacity and inflation pressure with an ascending letter of the alphabet, with the most common being B, C, D, E, and F load range ratings. It's also important to ensure the maximum gross vehicle's weight rating, or GVWR, which is referenced on the vehicle's place card or in the owner's manual, is less than what the tire's load range weight rating is. If the tire size changes, the new size must have an equal or greater load carrying capacity versus the original equipment place card size, and if that's the case, the TRA even goes as far as recommending you to contact the vehicle's manufacturer for the weight carrying guidelines with the new tire size. Another thing to note with weight carrying capacities is that the maximum load capacity is only that if the tire is inflated to its maximum air pressure. The maximum inflation pressure listed doesn't necessarily mean it's the recommended inflation pressure. For example, most P-rated tires have a maximum inflation pressure of 44 psi marked on the sidewall. However, this may not be the inflation pressure needed for the vehicle and may only be 32 psi. Now, let's say, for example, we're looking at a load range D tire in the light truck category, and it's a 265/70 R17 at 65 pounds per square inch of air pressure. That tire has a maximum load capacity of 3,042 pounds. Combine that tire with 3 more, and now with those tires, your vehicle, including the weight of the vehicle, can now carry a maximum of 12,168 pounds with all 4 tires set at 65 psi. Tire ply ratings are a throwback to the old system when bias ply truck tires were prevalent and measured a truck tire's carrying capacity by the number of plies in the carcass or body of the tire. Now, it's just a rating and not the number of actual plies or layers that the tire is made out of. A higher numeric rating or ply count identified on tires will feature stronger and heavier duty construction. Today's radial truck tires will only have 1 steel ply in the carcass, but is still used as a measure of their carrying capacity. 12 ply rated tires carry more weight than a 10 ply, and an F load rating will be equivalent to a 12 ply rating. An E load is 10 ply, and so on. However, the most accurate measurement from an engineering perspective is the load index. The tire's load index is relative to the maximum load carrying capacities allowed at the maximum rated speed of the tire, indicated by the speed symbol, and should be referenced when applicable, as load and speed index values are more typically used in Europe and sometimes in Canada, but not always referenced here in the United States. All right, guys, so to sum it all up and answer the question of how do we know which tire is the best load carrying tire for us, is knowing how much weight you're going to be hauling, including the weight of your vehicle first and foremost, and then making sure the load range value adds up to be more than your total amount of weight or the max gross vehicle weight rating. And don't forget to add the tongue weight of your trailer onto your gross weight as well if you're going to be hauling. Also, keep in mind that when you're on our website searching for tires, that you can search by the load rating or the load index value and narrow those searches with the filter option. That'll make it much more simpler and faster to find the right tires to buy. And guys, if you do have any further questions, definitely make sure and let us know in the comments below, or even if you have any additional input on tire load ratings, tire index ratings, make sure and let us know. Other than that, guys, as always, we appreciate all of you for watching and all of your support. I'm Josh from Trailbuilt, and we'll see you guys out on the trails.